Leamons, welcome back to another video of mine. So in this video, I want to talk about art styles, because it's something that a lot of artists stress about, or constantly change, or struggle finding. And I want to talk about all those things in more depth, because I personally struggled to find an art style myself for years. And I always worried I'd never find one that fit me and my artwork. To be honest, the one I have now isn't even something I 100% think is my forever art style. I like it and I have fun drawing with this style, but it could easily change in the future. And that's a point I really want to get across in this video. Anyway, enough of me rambling on, let's get right into the video. So, first thing I want to cover is the stress about finding an art style, especially for newer artists, but that doesn't mean experienced artists don't also struggle with this. There is always a pressure to find your art style right away, but it can be difficult to find an art style that you enjoy, that you can draw over and over again. And it's scary to try to find one knowing that that art style you choose is what you have to draw in. That's what you'll be known for. Although, you can change it. There's no rules against changing an art style. That's completely up to you. But for some reason, it can be hard. It can feel almost embarrassing to have a certain art style and then change it to something else. And it can feel upsetting when you keep on changing your art styles to something different. I think the main reason to why is because of social media. You see artists that have posted artwork for years in the same art style, so you wonder why you can't also stick with your art style. Plus, when you constantly see wide ranges of differing art styles, you can get inspired. Getting inspired is a great thing, and it definitely leads to an artist wanting to change their art style, because you may want to draw similarly to other artists' art styles, because you're in awe of how much you love their style. And you might totally scrap your old art style in the process. And you may do this for weeks, months, years, and that's okay. That is okay. I want to stress that it is okay to change your art style. I've literally changed my art style so much since I first started drawing. In fact, I struggled not too long ago with my art style. I was drawing my art style in a style that was more detailed and complex than what I usually did. And after drawing in this style for a couple months, I missed drawing in a more simple art style. I felt like I had more fun with this simple way of drawing, so I wanted to go back to that kind of a style. But I was cringing at the fact that I had to admit to my followers that I changed my style once again. And that's just it. There's this unspoken pressure to keep an art style because you're worried about what your followers will think if you do change it. Maybe they won't like the new art style, or maybe they'll think it's strange you keep on changing your art style. But it's really not up to them. It shouldn't be, at least. You should be able to decide how you want to draw. You shouldn't worry that you need to draw in a style that everyone likes. You shouldn't worry about people not recognizing you for your art style. And that's what I don't like about the art community. It's not anybody's fault, but somehow there is this pressure about keeping an art style, upset feelings that you change it too much while another artist doesn't, worry of what your followers will think if you do change your art style, worry that they won't like it. And they may not like the art style. I'm not saying that they'll like whatever style you choose to use. If your followers are really what is important to you, then keep your art style. Nobody is forcing you to change it. That's not what I'm saying either. But if you really do want to change it and draw in a new style, are you really not going to allow yourself to do that? Are you going to hold yourself back from drawing in a style that you would have more fun drawing in? And maybe one person doesn't like your new art style, but who's to say that somebody new won't love it? Art is subjective, meaning not everyone loves the same art style, and some people love styles others wouldn't. I should also mention, it's actually a really good thing to experiment with lots of different styles. That will only help improve your drawing skills by drawing in many styles. That's why when you go to animation school, the teachers really hammer it in your head that they want you to draw in different styles. For anybody who doesn't know, I went to animation school, and one of my class assignments was to draw a background in a cartoon show style. I chose to draw Bluey, and it was honestly a lot of fun, and a great assignment to help experiment with other art styles. Because if you ever want to become an animator, you need to know how to draw in other art styles. You can't just work on Bluey and draw it in your own art style. Not saying everyone who draws plans to become an animator, but this is just an example of how experimenting with styles could be beneficial. It can actually help you with your current art style too, because by trying out lots of styles, you may find features in each style that you love. That'll come along with you on your art journey. For example, I found out over time that I love drawing in a thin line art style. Even if I change my art style, I've discovered I like using thin line art for my drawings. So trying out multiple styles isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's arguably better than only ever drawing in one style. On this note, having a few different art styles at the same time is totally fun. It's actually a great thing for people who are indecisive about their art style. There's nothing wrong with having multiple art styles. Personally, I've had times where I draw in a cartoony simple style, and times where I draw in a more detailed style, and that is always great because it's honestly fun and fresh to have the option between the two drawing styles. I didn't even realize this is something I was doing for a while, as I would just draw in the cartoony style when I was creating new characters or ideas, and the more detailed style for my Instagram posts. And I never really posted the cartoony style on Instagram, probably because I didn't want people thinking I was drawing in a different art style, which is a shame, but it leads to another point that I want to make. That is, artists being known or recognized for a certain style. We all know those popular artists on Instagram, YouTube, or elsewhere that have their art style. You almost identify the person with the set art style they use. Imagining them with any other art style would be strange, because somehow their art style is a part of their identity. I always wonder if they genuinely love drawing in their art styles, or if they feel pressure to keep them because that's what they're known for. That's the art style that gets them recognition on social media, almost like a brand. And yes, art styles do sometimes become brands. Like in cartoon shows, there's usually a style for the show, or when artists take commissions for their own art, it's usually in whatever their known art style is. And if they don't want to draw in their art style anymore, but they're making money off their art, and somebody wants their known art style as a commission, as long as they're good with using their known style, then that's great. They might as well, as it's a commission, which they'd be getting paid for. And doing a job isn't always going to be something you love. You can enjoy it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, that you'll love it. Meaning that drawing in an art style you maybe don't like much anymore is alright if you're at least using it in a business manner. But with that said, if the artist is really struggling to draw in their current art style, like it's affecting them negatively, the artist doesn't have to take on the commission either. It's up to the artist. They are allowed to deny a commission request. But if they don't mind using their known art style for commissions, then that's totally valid. If anything, I think that's great. And if you're just a beginner at drawing, or don't do commissions, then you should feel free to change or draw in whatever style you desire, as it really doesn't matter. And you're learning and developing your drawing skills, so experimenting in different styles is actually very important. As I said, it'll help you discover drawing features you like, such as how I found over time I like drawing with thin line art. So if you're stressing over finding an art style right away, just remember, you should go through a process of using different styles and experimenting. That'll be what helps you find an art style you can actually settle on. So if you believe an art style is something you'll discover right off the bat, well, I don't want to say that's impossible. I'm sure some people have, but most people don't. And they'll go years without finding the style. And if you want to draw in multiple art styles, then you should. There is no rule against doing that, and it's unfortunate that the art community makes people feel like they need to draw in one style, because you should feel free to draw in many different styles. And if you do just want to draw in one style, that's okay too. I'm not saying you have to draw in more, but I'm saying you can. Also, if you do take commissions for your known art style, that's also fine. You can keep doing that, as again, it's a commission. It's up to you, and drawing in that style is essentially a business for you. But in your own time, or when you draw your own characters, if you want to try a different style, then you can draw in different styles. That is okay. That is good. Anyway, I feel like I covered everything I needed to, so that'll be the end of this video. I really wanted to talk about art styles in particular, because it's something I really struggled with during my art journey. And it's something I still struggle with even to this day. So don't feel bad if you've been drawing for years and still don't have an art style you feel satisfied with, because I don't even feel like my current style is something I'm satisfied with. Although, right now, I do enjoy drawing with the style, but that doesn't mean I won't change it in the future, or try new styles. Don't focus on finding an art style. Focus on improving your drawing skills, learning anatomy, improving your line art, drawing faces, drawing backgrounds, perspective, shading, lighting. Just focus on your art. Don't focus on an art style. If you change it, you change it. And that's okay. It's been Leamon Puppy. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys all next time.